Welcome to HeroClix's Clicks Tactics. We're taking a look at some of the Fantastic Four combinations that you can make using a combination of the Future Foundation sets, Fast Forces, Fantastic Four set, Cosmic Clash, etc., etc., focusing specifically on the most current sets. As you can see, I've already got the first combination laid out, featuring Susan, Queen of Atlantis, Blackbeard, and Franklin Von Doom. We'll start with Susan, Queen of Atlantis first. She is a title character. The ability we're going to focus on right now is the +1. These people are under my protection now, which says free. Generate 2 water terrain markers in Susan, Queen of Atlantis' square and or adjacent squares. Until your next turn, friendly characters occupying water terrain modify defense +1. And each time a friendly character occupying water terrain is missed by an attack, heal that character or Susan, Queen of Atlantis, 1 click. And what we're looking at here is helping our teammates out. Susan, Queen of Atlantis, in this case, doesn't really need to be inside the water terrain, or be occupying the water terrain rather, because she doesn't really benefit too much from it. The character that actually does benefit from this are both Blackbeard and Franklin Von Doom. We'll start with Blackbeard first. Blackbeard has a trait that says it's raiding party time. During force construction, characters with the dolphin's speed symbol, which is the one that gives them the swim ability, gain the pirate keyword. Friendly characters with the pirate keyword that occupy water terrain modify attack +1. He himself has the pirate keyword, meaning that whenever he occupies water terrain, he gets a +1 attack thanks to his trait. And because of Susan, Queen of Atlantis' title ability, he also gets +1 defense. So we're looking at a Blackbeard that can start with 12 attack, 19 defense. And that's not all. And Blackbeard also starts with the Stones of Merlin equipped. When he rolls for its effect, increase the result by 1. That means that for the Stones of Merlin, which says invincible, when this character is hit with an attack, roll a d6. On a 1 or 2, after resolutions, unequip this object and your opponent places it in a square of water terrain. Or if no water terrain is on the map, place it in a square within 6 squares of the unequipped character. What Blackbeard's trait essentially does is it only lets you fail unequipping the Stones of Merlin on a 1 rather than a 1 or a 2. Which is fantastic, because that means he'll practically have invincible all throughout his dial. On top of that, he has Mastermind. Mastermind, and this is actually another combination here with Franklin Von Doom. So what we're doing here is using Franklin Von Doom as Mastermind fodder, because Blackbeard has Mastermind all throughout his dial. So should they manage to get through his shape change, which he has, should they manage to somehow do plenty of damage to crack through that invincible, which is possible, he can still transfer that damage to Franklin Von Doom. And Franklin Von Doom, like mentioned before, not only does he benefit from the water terrain that Susan, Queen of Atlantis makes by his, if you look at his damage ability, Reality Warp, he has probability control and outwit, but only when Franklin Von Doom occupies a terrain marker. And of course, those water terrains being terrain markers grants him outwit. His trait, My Thoughts and Desires Come to Fruition, that says free, choose 1 if 5 or less of Franklin Von Doom's generated terrain markers are on the map. Generate a terrain marker hindering water or blocking in an adjacent square. And you see, yet that's another way we can help out. Blackbeard gains some power there and put his dolphin speed symbol to use because of the newly updated pack rule, which says, while occupying water terrain, this character can't be targeted by opposing characters unless they are within 4 squares. Which makes him kind of tough to deal with Invincible, Mastermind, the swim ability with constantly having water, the high attack, high defense. It's going to make Blackbeard quite a nuisance to deal with. Now, he's not completely impervious to everything, of course. You know, you don't want to put everything on Blackbeard, because if you outwit his Mastermind, he can't transfer the damage to Franklin Von Doom, which By the way, I forgot to go over the reason why you want to mastermind to Franklin Von Doom is he has 2 stop clicks on his 4th and 5th clicks, which are his last 2 clicks, which I'm going to show here have an amazing stat line of 13 attack, 20 defense, 5 damage, and 12 attack, 19 defense, and 4 damage. Don't forget that he has a massive 9 range as well, and on top of that, that stop click grants him impervious, power cosmic, and makes him colossal. So he's gonna be a giant behemoth just wreaking havoc on the battlefield, and against a smarter opponent who would probably want to outwit that mastermind to try to chip away at Blackbeard instead of angering Franklin Von Doom into transforming into a behemoth. You know, you may want to look into some protection in the form of Franklin Richards. What's this? Some sort of time warp? We're looking at 2 Franklin Richards here. One in the form of Von Doom, and the other in the form of Franklin Richards. Why this Franklin Richards, you may ask yourself? Well, it's pretty simple that this character grants all friendly characters with a Fantastic Four keyword within 4 squares have the power cosmic thanks to his traits Return of the Fantastic Four. If you've been watching my videos on this channel, you'll know that this channel is no stranger to Franklin Richards. He has a lot of potential, especially now that with the new 2021 updated pack and rulebook. Franklin Richards granting your entire team willpower and protected outwit thanks to the power cosmic will make this Blackbeard very difficult to deal with, because, you know, you can always just mastermind the damage to Franklin Von Doom, or, you know, if they decide to leave him alone, like I mentioned, he's attacking with a 12 attack, 19 defense. So he's with a 12 attack, 4 damage, not to mention that if he occupies water terrain, thanks to his, there are only a dozen of him, I've got him outnumbered special power on his attack that says Quake, Super Strength, and when Blackbeard uses Quake, if he occupies water terrain, each hit character is dealt his printed damage instead of 2. So he's looking at dealing 4 or 3 damage to all the adjacent characters instead of 2 damage. That's one option. The other option is you could add more synergy, more fodder in this team. Adding more bodies to this team in Vil and Wu. Why these 2? Out of all the sidekicks, well, pretty easy, because they can both swim. They both have the swim symbols. That means they can both benefit off of Susan, Queen of Atlantis' traits. So whenever she generates these water terrain markers, they're able to also benefit from having that swim ability, which means that they can't be targeted by opposing characters that are more than 4 squares away. And again, you know, because of Blackbeard's trait, it's raiding party time, they gain the pirate keyword, which means when they occupy water terrain, they get +1 attack. So we're looking at both of them having 11 starting attack. Vil here with Close Combat Expert can increase it to 12. Adding someone like Valeria Richards with Perplex can add just so much potential that you can create, so much havoc you can create with these 2 little sidekicks. As they also have a useful trait, the Uhari kids, that Wu has this trait. A friendly character named Vil is on your force. Wu and Vil have passenger 1, but only to carry sidekicks. So that means that they can carry each other, both benefiting off of all that water terrain that's going to be generated by Franklin Von Doom and Susan, Queen of Atlantis. So these 3, of course, standing to benefit from that. Not to mention, like I had said earlier, that she also gives them +1 defense for occupying her water terrain markers. Just so much synergy that you have that you can create, just, you know, starting with these 3 characters and take it from there and see. I would actually like for you to leave a comment below on which build you would prefer, which build you think is better, whether it's this one, the Uhari Kids and Valeria Richards, or the Fantastic Four with Franklin Richards backing them up with the power cosmic. Leave that comment down below. Don't forget that this channel runs on likes, shares, subscriptions, comments, word of mouth, anything in between, and most importantly, HeroClix. So don't forget to like, subscribe to show your appreciation, and as always, thank you so much for watching.